Hey all, welcome back to weekly warm-up session. Today we have some amazing things to discuss. We'll start with warm-up exercise, then we'll have a discussion around sketchnote layouts. We'll share our learning on the March sketch notes, and then I have kept this place as blank to kind of discuss anything that we want to, right? So. All right, so let's get started with the warm-up exercise, which is dots. So how often do you do warm-up exercise, Kanupriya, Ankur?
I do it almost every day,
Okay.
irrespective of I am formally drawing something or not. I try to do that.
All right. And what kind of warm-up exercises do you do?
At
So,
times, I just do the letters, at times shapes, at times different type of bullets. And to align with our today's theme, at times I just try to draw the boxes to understand visually the layout without any text. How does it look?
Okay. Interesting. You were saying something, Ankur?
I was saying that whenever I start doing atomic sketches, I do the warm up mostly because this is the first thing I do whenever I do sketches. Uh, During the daytime, also sometimes whenever I'm watching TV or something, if I have a pen around me, I'll start doing something. So warm up is something I'll do it morning mostly, and that time also I'll post my atomic sketch. But mostly I'll do it when I start working on atomic sketch.
Mhm.
Otherwise, entire day I'll do some scribbling, whatever paper or whatever pen I got during the day.
Cool. Somehow I found Atomic Sketch also to be a kind of warm-up exercise only. Like my day starts with Atomic Sketch. Like the second thing in the day that I do is Atomic Sketch actually.
Yeah, Atomic Sketches is a really, really enriching experience, not just in terms of drawing skills, but in terms of visualization and thinking skill also.
Mhm.
True, true.
So last time I was talking about this, I'm reading a book called Show and Tell.
Yeah.
And in the book, there is some infographic or there is some statistics that is given, which is one of the statistics that says that 90% of the information that is shared on internet is
Mm-hmm.
visual in nature.
Is in the form of data. Is that
Is visual
visual data?
images.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the source of this is Cisco, the company that I work for. So I can
Yeah.
vouch for the information that they are sharing in terms of the correctness. Okay, Abhishek is also there. I'm admitting him. Hi, Abhishek. Hey, Abhishek, good morning. Can you hear me? All right, looks like Abhishek is still getting started, warmed up. So Abhishek, we have just gotten started with the first thing to be done in this session, which is warm-up exercise. So we pick up the pen, we kind of draw different shapes, dots. That's how we kind of warm up our fingers. And I was telling that 90% of the information shared on internet is visual in nature. And then we were sharing experiences of how we warm up every day. Cool. So moving on to the main topic of today, I'm going to talk about the Sketchnote layouts. and specifically how to kind of anchor the sketchnote layouts, in the entire page. So whenever we start normally any sketchnote, we'll start with a blank page, and we'll always have this thing going on, like how do we start? How do I start? Where do I start from? One of the most easiest way is to kind of create a grid of maybe 3 by 2, right? So divide your entire page into half horizontally and then in 3 parts vertically. So that kind of gives you 6 blocks to kind of sketch note in. And then first block you can always dedicate to your title, and rest of them for individual blocks. But even after that, a lot of times you would feel that your sketch notes are not like looking cohesive, or they're not coming together properly. They might look scattered, or they might look messy. And that's where there is this concept of creating immovable object, or the main anchor of the entire sketch note, uh, around which the entire sketch note can be drawn or created. Again, the idea is to kind of draw attention first of all, and then distribute information or distribute uh, attention across the page. So we kind of start with the visual hierarchy first. So the concept is called immovable object, right? And this I got from um, there is a handle on Instagram, and it's also on Twitter, the Sketch Effect, and it's the company which kind of creates sketch notes. Um, in one of the Instagram posts, and Jatin also posted this in the community, which is to kind of making use of this as an important element in the sketch note. So uh, it means that we kind of start with a strong visual element in the sketch note, and it can be of 3 different types. The first type is to have a title, right? So a title which is big enough to capture the entire page, or maybe most part of the page. So over here you can see that immovable object as a title is kind of drawing my first and foremost attention in this entire page, right? So we can have, or we can create the visual anchor by writing big enough title, adding splash of color to it, right? Either fill up the title block with the colors, or we have Arun also. Hey Arun, good morning. How are you?
Hey, finally I made it.
Yeah, welcome to the group. So uh, we have just gotten started with this. I was talking about how to kind of create layout in the sketch note, and how to kind of create a visual hierarchy. And for that, we start with an immovable object in the blank page. That can be a title, and I was talking about adding color to the title. So one of the ways of adding color to the title is, of course, draw a double line block for the title and then color it inside. Another way is to kind of draw some strokes in random fashion, and that itself kind of creates a good immovable object. We learned expressive typography in March through AtomicSketches. That can also become like a good way of having a title, right? And that is always bigger than rest of the content, either text content or visual content in the blank page. So that's first one way. Second way is, no, we can actually draw a big sketch which is big enough about the topic or the person whom we are talking about, or the speaker. So in this case, we can have, let's say, Kumar is actually giving this session. So my key features, right? And then add that banner that we learned earlier. So that can be an anchor for the entire sketch note. So I'm drawing it all together so that they're right now they're competing with for attention, but when we are drawing in a blank space, which we'll practice just right after this, we'll get to see. And finally, whenever we are creating a sketch note, we can actually make use of white space and put a block around that. And we can actually fill up that white space later on, right, with small blocks of summary. Okay, so I'll take a pause if you have any questions around this.
So Kumar, where I find it a bit difficult that when we talk about the big sketch part, so at times what happens, any talk or any article may cover 2 or 3 big ideas. So in that case, how do we deal with that?
So the ideas will be tied to one anchor, I believe so, right? So that anchor is what goes over here. Then those ideas we can have as sub things. So I can give an example. So this is from the Sketchember Sketchnotes, right? And we can see over here that this one talks about the power of vulnerability, right? So over here, we got started with the title of the sketch note, right? And it is kind of given a highlight by drawing some borders around that, right? And then there are sub ideas or no ideas around that big topic. This is another one wherein I've written the main topic or the main thing in the center, and rest of them are kind of all around it. And you will also see that there is a good contrast in terms of what's captured in center is a white background and black foreground, and while the other case is we have different background and foreground.
Yeah.
Yeah, same over here also. You can see that the big thing has been given by a big chunk of color, which kind of draws the attention right over there, and then it kind of goes around. Can also show some other example. Right over here also you will see that the Diya actually takes the center stage, and then it kind of there are other things which are going around. So the idea is create a visual anchor to draw attention to this entire block first, and then it kind of goes in the chronological order of how things are placed around. Over here also you will see that 5 is written in much larger shape, and then it is colored. Again, these are not the only ways, but these are like the quick starters that we can follow. Yeah, over here you will see the white space is very much into action. There is a lot of white space around the content, and the title is actually kind of kept separate and in bigger size. The text is written in bigger size to kind of get started.
Yeah.
All right. Also, so this is applicable for both the things, whether you are taking notes for yourself or kind of creating a visual summary of to be for somebody else. In either case, I would say that even for taking notes for yourself, use color as the prominent way of drawing attention. If it's all black and white, like this one, I can actually make use of color to kind of create that immovable object block.
Hey, Kumar, I had a question.
Yeah.
So, with respect to layouts, so whenever you want to create nodes, so you think of layout first, or you just start with any one random and then you start filling it out. Because, like, for example, if you take a radial layout, right,
Mhm.
versus a sort of a block, linear layouts. When I linear means you start from left to right, or
Yeah.
so that would also, so how does that work? How do you decide on that, which layouts to choose? And
Okay.
secondly, can you give us some at a very abstract templates, that different layouts that we can use
Sure.
templates for layout?
Sure. So one is, if you're just getting started, the simplest layout will be to kind of start with grid, right? So if you have a paper, if you have a page, right, divide your page into, let's say, grid of 3 by 2, right? And here is where your title that will go, right? And then you will have blocks of text, in each one of these grid cells, right? So that's the most basic one. Okay. And I have always started with this. But if you are having an inorganic way of kind of doing stuff, then what worked with me is, there is a page. Okay. Start with top left corner. Have your title written over here, right? And go in column wise. So column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, right? And then, yeah, you create a division lines. So each one of these blocks is your layout column, like that. Okay. For radial, this is again, like, instead of going hub and spoke, so this is the, let's say, the main title. Instead of doing like this, you can actually go in an inorganic fashion, which is, you start like the most recent sketch notes, if you had seen, that I've created for, let's say, the founder's foyer. In that, I have created a grid. First of all, I have created a template. Okay. And then I have created this immovable thing that I just talked about. And then I start from top left and then go around. This is one of the earlier sketch notes. So created this thing and then started from left and then went around. And each, the grid that I talked about, this one, I loosely kind of followed that grid template. Oh, there are 2 more persons waiting. Okay. Oh, it's the same one. Hi, Janani. So does it help, Arun?
Yes, that answers a lot. And maybe later in the I think that helps a lot. That's fine.
That's okay. You can, I mean, although this is recorded, this is more like a casual setup that we are in.
Right. Now, the question I wanted to ask, like, so how do you, this is, so there are 2 ways, right? One, you are doing real time note taking, and the other, you're taking it offline as in, like, you read a topic and then sort of create a note. So when it's real time, so like, again, I guess that kind of answers from what you said. You just take a layout and then start filling in, right?
So this sketch note I created real time, right? So in this, you will see that, no, because I already knew what's the topic going to be, who is the speaker, I drew this first, okay, while the things were getting set up. And then I loosely used from top to bottom the column thing that I talked about. So it is, I started from here like this, and this is the second column, then this is the third column, fourth, and like that. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So this is done live. Yeah. Same thing for this also. Each one, if we see, they are like hub and spoke or radial, but kept separately. They are following a column structure. So this was the first topic that was discussed. So I wrote the subtitle of that, and then whatever that was discussed, I kind of started noting them down all around. Then the next topic, and then I started capturing things all around. Third topic, and then started capturing things all around. So that way, it kind of went ahead. So if we have to see this particular thing, it would have looked something like this. Right. So they will look like they are in column now. Right. Or they are following some invisible grid also. Okay. So the more we start practicing, it will fall into place, I would say. Okay. So I highly encourage all of you to kind of try this technique out if you're going to Sketchnote today. Yeah, maybe start with creating a sketch note of this itself right now. And you already have the content in place, right? We have the title, we have the tagline for the title, what is the source of the content, and then we have subtopics, title, big sketch, and white space, and then what goes around. If you want to quickly try out and then share your experience while you are doing that. Hi, Janani. I did not realize that you were joining. So I kind of know.
No worries. I was traveling and my bus reached late, so I couldn't join at 9. And then I realized that you'd probably be sketching, and hence, you wouldn't have checked out if someone was waiting in that waiting room. No worries.
Cool. So I guess no, you might not be sketching or sketchnoting. But moving on to the next topic, which is what have been your learnings, and we can actually use what we just learned for sharing our learnings or capturing our learnings of March Atomic Sketches, right? So yeah, do share, and I'll kind of sketchnote that live. So what
Can
have
I
you
start?
learned?
Can I start first?
Yeah, please.
So my learning is like I was not able to create multiple or different kinds of typography techniques. Like I've tried using everything, whatever I can.
Mhm.
I before creating any some atomic sketches, I do some research also, like how I can mold the fonts in a different way. Maybe somewhere I use cursive, somewhere I use bold fonts, somewhere I try to create shape out of it. Like yesterday, I was creating tired, so I thought, why not create a rock and then uh, add a typography based on the space I have left over there. So uh, that's why I created the last one like that.
Mhm.
Similarly, I also experiment with color. So like I've used multiple colors also somewhere, and later I realized that I messed up sometimes. Like it's not looking that great, or maybe after creating that I thought that I can make it more minimalistic also. I need not to do or use multiple colors over there, but yeah, but I played with it. It's like because it's a kind of a playground, so I just do it whatever I can.
Mhm.
So I enjoyed it a lot. What one thing which I missed from February is like there are less emojis which I want to illustrate over there, which I was not able to do it with March Atomic Sketch,
Okay.
but I still do it. I can't resist myself creating something like that. So I did illustrations also over there. So
Yeah.
there are certain one where like time or angry where I create emojis and illustrations also
Mhm. Mhm.
around it.
Mhm. Okay.
But I enjoyed it a lot, honestly.
Yeah, the main idea of March Atomic Sketches was to have a constraint of text itself and to be as expressive as possible with just with the text. So there was no bound as such to kind of not use any other shapes or illustrations, whatever that kind of gets us started. I hope no we got an inch closer to expressing through type.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can notice. I think there is some kind of thing, right? Like it's getting echoing or
Sorry, Janni, I didn't get you.
no, I think at your end there is echoing, or maybe one of the screens is having. I mean, both your screens are having your the volume on.
Okay, I have just one screen right now up.
Okay, it's probably my side then. I don't know.
I think so, Jenny, because Ankur's voice was clear.
Okay, hang on. Maybe I'll just log off and log in back again. Am I audible now?
Better.
Okay, cool. If someone want to go next, I can go next otherwise.
Yeah, go ahead, Janni.
I actually like the March once a lot in a sense. It made me look at the different kinds of, uh, you know, the way things are written better. Like I think every time you draw, you tend to look at images better, and so this was good in terms of looking at lettering as such. So even when I'm out or something, I'm looking at billboards. I'm looking at how different shops express the letters. uh, I mean, I know each of our atomic prompts had a different theme word for the day, but sometimes like there is this place called Five Star Chicken near my place, which is a small shop. But they've not written 5 star and chicken. They've actually put a Cadbury's 5 star and food chicken.
Okay.
So I mean, so it just makes you notice these things a little nicer. I mean, I think sharper because you're doing it on a daily basis or a weekly basis or however your habit is.
Hmm.
And I think, I mean, overall, I should probably add this that I think February, March, of course, January, we did the journaling part, but I've started doing my own small sketch notes for some of the important meetings we have. So between February and March, I think what has improved is when I'm sketchnoting, one of course images come to our mind faster, and a better way of looking at those from an anthropomorphic sense, and also uh, not writing very boring text. Like basically experimenting with it has come a little more natural. It's almost like a habit creation. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I think most of us struggle with typography. So this was really an enriching experience as such. And we don't know how many different ways we associate the word with. So first, after just 1 or 2 days, very different images started to come. And though I post one, but later in the day, I associated the word anything else, I'll draw that also. And it is very surprising that, how the association works in mind. And later on, what I did is, I will not go with the first image I'm getting with the word. I'll wait, and I'll try to see three, four. And all three, four images are very, very different, rather opposite at times. So that has really helped. And as Janani said, our observation about the typography around us in various ways is increased, which also help. And one thing what I observed is the brands that we use the color combination instead of just the text. They pay a lot of attention to color combination. So that is something catching my attention these days. It was very good experience. Though I could not participate in last few days, I'll try this weekend. But yeah, it was very good experience.
Nice.
Cool. Arun is my classmate from the design college. Arun, you want to share anything that I might have missed that we were taught on expressive typography?
I think expressive. So one of the things I definitely saw in this, this 30 days. One is, the expressive typography is there is, any concept or any word has an abstract idea associated with, abstract concept. And once you understand that concept well, then how you express it just using mere letters is really amazing. There's so much you can do. And that's where I think, many folks mentioned. So trying out multiple iterations to convey similar idea, similar concept. I think that's great. And I think another thing that we learned during the expressive typography was try to use the letters as much, possible than the other visual aids. A little bit is fine here and there, but sticking with letter itself is really, like, for example, bounce. That concept O bouncing itself is, that conveys a lot. So, I think that's one. The second takeaway from me was, there's so much amazing creativity with this group. I remember so many good examples of how people, really thought of a totally different interpretation of a word. I think the closest I remember was from the word tired. Somebody created eyes, tired eyes. And I would say I would never think of this. So a lot of amazing creativity. And it's really great to see how everyone is thinking of the same concept in different ways. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So that's great. So, no, just you saw that, I used the topic of today, immovable object, drawn in the center, and then use the grid to kind of lay out whatever the most important things that we talked about, capture as mostly as words across.
Oh, one thing I should add, which is not related, not what I did for sketchnoting, but because it's all letters, and then Rohini, my sister, was shading and coloring and everything, and I use only ink pens usually, so I've ended up buying different colors of ink. And it's funny because there are lots of ink makers, but then there is this Indian company called Syahi, which has 248 shades of ink. That's like
Wow.
mind blowing.
Okay. And does it work with any fountain pen or?
Yeah. It works with any fountain pen
I'll make a note.
or even your normal ink pen, not just the calligraphy ones, even the normal ones. Both.
How is it spelled?
SYAHI, Syahi.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to try this. I got a fountain pen for myself, kind of use that for journaling. The kind of feeling that it gives is unmatchable, actually. And so I have this one, right, a very simple one. And it's Pierre Cardin, actually, the very basic one. The amazing thing is when we write using the nib in proper way, it kind of, now that the ink is dried up or not there, it kind of gives me a bold or a thick lettering. But when I write it reverse, it kind of gives me very slim, thin lettering. So yeah.
Yeah, and you also get those other. I mean, invariably, if you search, depending on what the, I know you also said Pierre Cardin, but you will also get those nibs which are they've been roughened up, so you won't have the tip. That is for the for titles and things like that. So
Okay. So with that, let's move on to the next topic for today, which was yeah, anything to be discussed. So last time when we met, we were talking about what could be a theme for our April Atomic Sketches, and we came up with two ideas. One idea was to kind of take a prompt. So right now what we do is we give a prompt for every day, but in this we can take a prompt for the week, and over the week we kind of draw different things, or draw one single thing and then try to evolve that over the next 7 days, 6 days, right? So let's say if on Sunday I give a prompt as let's say work, and we draw something on work on first day, then second day we kind of evolve it into either by adding something to it or subtracting or kind of drawing a totally different thing. So over the next 7 days we kind of keep drawing the same prompt. So that was one idea. So basically what it means is that in 1 month we'll probably have 4 prompts, and each one of us will have 21 graphics or 7 different ways of looking at the same prompt from our eyes. And the good thing is this is what I felt in idea generation, which is when we generate ideas, the first 10 ideas are like very common. The 11th idea onwards is where we start getting unique things which are very contextual and which are very related to the problem domain that we are working. And same thing can work over here also. We keep pushing our brain to kind of think about that prompt for first 3 days. It'll come up as common things, and then fourth day onwards, it might evolve into something totally different. So that was the first idea. Second idea, okay, let me pull that out. Second idea was to have, every day. So we'll make a list of like 30 books, and we'll have the archive of cover pages of 30 books. Every day I'll share cover page image of one of the books, and then we recreate that cover page using a quick sketch note, or quick, not sketch note, I would say, quick atomic sketch. And that atomic sketch can cover what is the title of the book, maybe some graphic to show the essence of the book, and that's all. So over 30 days, we'll be having 30 different book covers of 30 different books.
I think I'll vote for the first one.
Okay.
I mean, not that the second one is not great, but since we will do one per day, I mean, we want to choose one theme to work on, so I'll probably put my vote for the first one.
I would also vote for the first one, but just to add to that, Kumar, with the second option, when my son was small, so we get all those children's book, and I did hand created the book cover, whatever books he used to read or we used to read. I would create a hand painted or hand drawn picture of that, and I made a big wallpaper. So yeah, a lot of memories associated with the book covers.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, Kumar, can you tell me about the book cover thing more? I didn't kind of catch that. Sorry.
That itself tells that that's not a good idea to kind of go ahead with. It kind of takes time to explain. All right. So, but the idea is that every day I'll share an image of the book cover, right? Let's say AtomicSketches is the book. We'll take a snapshot or an image of the actual book cover and we'll share that as a prompt. We take that as a prompt and we either redraw um, that book in Sketch, right? So I'm just trying to pull up one of the books. So let's say if this is the book, this is the book that I'm reading right now. Okay, so we'll share the image of this book, and then what we do is we actually either copy and sketch this book cover and then share, or we can reimagine this book cover in our own ways and then share. Okay, again, in very quick and easy way, not more than 60 seconds.
Yeah, very interesting. It looks complicated, but
Yeah.
Actually, Kumar, this book cover thing. So I got what you had told even on Twitter, and that's why I said maybe we could even try both because instead of the book cover doing the book cover for 30 days, we could do the same weekly thing, right? Because sometimes we wouldn't have read a book, so we would just reimagine it, and it would probably like build it over
Mhm.
1 minute. So it's essentially we'll give ourselves a 6 minute time limit for the week. So the constraint there is the time limit. So you build it out like we used to do those speech thing where we did 10 minutes per day or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, correct, got it.
So the book cover is what it is. It is obviously not. It is very imaginative. So it is obviously not going to be reflective of what the book would be if you've not read the book. Nonetheless, it's a good exercise, and we are anyway doing our weekly prompt and building it over 7 days. So basically, we have two things. If you want, we can. Uh, I mean, it's up to people to do both the things, or we could just do one, whichever we pick to do, we can do. But if that book cover thing instead of 30 days, if it is just one per week, I think it won't seem so hard because sometimes I don't know. I mean, it's not that I've done to claim. I'm just saying it won't seem very overwhelming.
Okay. So
It is not actually. I think when we start doing, we realize it won't be overwhelming. But I'm just saying when you explain the concept, it seems a little like a lot to do. So yeah, this is just a suggestion. I'm
Got it.
happy to run with what we do.
Totally understand. So the idea with book cover was more in terms of, no, I have got a book cover, right? What I do is I kind of draw shape of the book, right? And I don't need to kind of go through the book. You just need to look at the image and try to draw what's there. Okay. And just copy that. That's the basic thing.
Got it. It's not difficult.
So nothing to read about the book.
Understood.
Yeah, it's more about getting started or getting to know how these things are visualized. And again, it's more like a copying that we are doing, not a recreation. Recreation can come as a next level, which is after spending 1 week doing the same thing, like for different book covers, then we'll start getting ideas in terms of, okay, this is the book cover. Maybe what does it mean? Can I reimagine? So this is level 1, let's say. Okay. Level 2, I can think of right? So I can, again, the same thing, but written in a different way. Okay, and then we slowly start evolving. Like that.
Got it.
So, Kumar, I have a question here. So initially, we just want to create a replica of it, and then we need to create another version of it with our own ideas, or what?
I think I need to work on this idea a bit, refine that, and then share it. Because what I'm thinking now, that it is kind of getting confusing. So wanted to simplify. The idea was take a book cover and copy it. Okay, that's
Mhm,
level one.
mhm.
Level two, can I think of something else in terms of imagery, or let's say, right? So I can actually create a maze kind of thing.
Basically, the title becomes the prompt,
The
and
title, yeah.
then we, of course,
Mm.
do what we want to do.
I think it's nice, nice kind of experimentation. Even if you stick with the first approach, right? Just replicate the book cover or reinterpret in your own way. I think that's okay. But you'll have to get 30 books.
No, only 30.
I,
Yes.
I'm sure Kumar will just flip through his sketchnoting journals and say, okay, book 1, book 2, book 3.
Oh, yes. I think we'll stick to the first one. Looks easy, and kind of way to get started. And then for May, we can think of Booker. I'll try to kind of maybe following Janani's advice, we can do a mix of both. This one can go as an experiment. Whoever wants to kind of join and learn from that.
I think I also like Janani's suggestion that weekly we can pick up books. Maybe we will have only 4 a month, but it will be I think more interesting. But the second idea looks more interesting to me. But yeah, it required a lot of work. What I feel.
Okay, done deal.
Sounds good. So we
Alright,
could do
thanks
both.
a
We are set for
lot.
April.
I hope there was something to learn today. All of us learned, did some amazing things across the entire March month. Looking forward to April for Atomic Sketch. Going forward, I'm also looking at how to make it more impact or outcome driven, like not just creating sketches. Those who have already tried this, now they are seeing that it has taken maybe 2 or 3 months to start developing that sensitivity and an eye to how do we look at things and how do we organize first in our brains and then put it on the paper. So now for going forward for the next 2 3 months, my objective is to how to kind of bring out that outcome and share it with more folks.
Actually, my aim for this quarter is to start actually putting stuff out more often. So yeah, that's the plan I have for April, May, and June.
Yeah, if you see, I started recording this and then started sharing it on YouTube. Again, the objective, I had been planning for this for almost 2 years, but never had courage to kind of share it. Just because, hey, how will things look like? There are so much of awesome content already out there. How will it stand? But now that I'm thinking that I've started sharing, it's more about okay, I just want to kind of get started, and no, it's not for the sake of sharing, but it's more for this from the sake of overcoming that fear. I'm reading a book right now, by the way. If you know, and this is a really good book, which is "Don't Feed Your Monkey Mind," and it has one amazing concept called there is a monkey which is sitting in our head. It always looks out for perceived threat, and because of that threat, if we don't do, the monkey gets confirmation that that was the real threat, and slowly starts getting embedded in our head. So I want to defeat my monkey.
Makes sense. But I mean, I belong to one of the readers group. Sorry, I know the time is out. So if folks want to leave, I just wanted to add one thing. So I belong to one. I'm one of the what do you call beta readers for a fantasy author based in the US. So there you find people sharing art left, right, and center. Like I mean, it's probably a cultural thing also, where this, even though it's a safe space, they really use it as a safe space. So someone starts and they just show. Like I was just thinking, we all are so shy about sharing, and they're very cool about it. Like very, they just share anything. So it's a very different cultural context.
A lot, yeah, a lot to do with upbringing, environment, and yeah, cultural. Like, as you said. All right, almost time. Thank you all for joining and sharing your Saturday morning with me.
Oh, that's fine. I've joined
Thank
after
you,
a long
Kumar.
time today. I wanted to ensure I joined the session even if I'm late. But yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Kumar. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
folks.
much.
Thank you, Kumar.
Bye.
Bye.